Thanks to Events DC, we're able to take you behind the scenes on food, culture, and community right here in DC. They're helping make this podcast possible and helping shape the future of our city at the same time. Check out eventsdc.com to see what they're cooking up. Order up another episode of In the Weeds podcast with Chef Spike Mendelson, where we dive deep into the craziness of the restaurant industry and so much more. We discuss food, beverage, even food policy issues. Basically, if you love to eat and drink and are curious about this industry, this podcast is for you. I'm your host, Spike Mendelson, a recovering celebrity chef, a long-life restaurant rat, from washing dishes in my family's business to cooking at Michelin star restaurants, competing in reality cooking competitions, and serving as an advocate for food policy issues. My life is always in the weeds. We're broadcasting live from the District of Columbia, our nation's capital. Today's episode is guaranteed to be perfectly seasoned as we get salty with our guest who makes the Salt Bay look like a salt baby. He is a chef, food activist, restaurateur, and an amazing sustainable salt maker in the Westfjords. Coming all the way from Iceland, let's get in the weeds with Gísli Grímsson. Yay!
Way, perfect, man. You nailed the pronunciation.
Did I nail that pronunciation?
Yeah.
Gísli Grímsson, does it mean anything?
Actually, yeah, it means, Gísli means hostage, or a man that is a hostage.
Yes.
Yeah. And Grímsson means son of Grímur. Yeah.
So hostage, son of Grímur?
Son of Grímur, yeah.
So why hostage? Why'd your parents name you, they just...
I'm named after my grandfather, so his name was Gísli Grímsson.
Yeah.
And my dad is then Grímur Gíslason because he's the son of Gísli.
Yeah.
And now my 2-year-old son, I named him Grímur Gíslason, like his grandfather. So it's
like it should be.
Like it should be, yeah.
I always find it funny because, my real name is Evangelos, which means angel, in which I'm completely not an angel. You ask my wife. but I always find it funny, like in foreign countries, we have meaning behind our names.
Yeah.
And here in the United States, it's like Brian. There's no it's just it's very transactional.
Icelandic names are like a lot of them are like either nature, biblical, or just have some kind of meaning from like Norse mythology. Like a lot of names.
Yeah. And so, thanks for being here, first of all.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
It sounds like you're in the weeds all the time, so it's perfect.
I'm in the weeds all the time. Yeah. You're good. That's to say the least.
You just flew in from Chicago. You're at the Dot Food Show.
Yeah. We were at the K Food Show.
Debuting all this beautiful product we have on the table.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that soon. But what I want to know is a little bit, where are you from in Iceland? People, you're on this podcast. People love chefs. They love the products. But we want to know a little bit about you. Like, where are you from in Iceland?
So, I'm actually from the south coast of Iceland. I was born in a class of islands, volcanic islands called Vestmannaeyjar or Westman Islands. And I was born and raised there. And then that is actually the largest puffin colony in the world.
Puffin
colony. Yeah.
So where you're from?
Yeah, so where I'm from, it is the largest puffin colony in the world.
Let's get right into the puffins, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about these cute little things. All right, you guys are sick over there in Iceland. Okay, man, you make stuffed animals out of these things. Okay.
Well,
and like you got like these tourist, shops, and you're selling all these puffin memorabilia. But we know what you're really doing with the puffins.
Yeah. We're really killing them and eating them.
Killing it and eating the puffins. It's okay. We're not sponsored by PETA or anything here, so we're totally cool. But explain me the culture of puffins. Like what when we were there, I was there about a couple years ago actually. I think it was out of season, puffin season. I don't know where they were, but they weren't around, so we didn't get to really see them. We might have not went to the right places, but tell us a little bit about the puffin culture.
Yeah, so I grew up in this island, and it is on the south coast of Iceland. It takes like a 45-minute boat ride to get to the mainland, where Reykjavík, the capital, is.
Yeah.
And this island is like an archipelago.
Yeah.
Archipelago of islands. So there are like 9 islands around one big main island, and in these small islands there are these massive puffin colonies. And you've probably seen this image, the loneliest house in the world, like where there is a house on an island, basically. It went like kind of viral on the internet a few years ago. That house is just a puffin hunting lodge.
Okay.
So the way it worked back in the days is that on the main island there were farmers, and they had sheep and horse and a cow and stuff like that. And basically the farmers, they would get like allotted to go to certain islands to bring their sheep there during summertime because the grassland in the main island wasn't.
To graze.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they would take the sheep in the summertime to the islands, and then they could also like pick seabird eggs and hunt puffins. We're talking about like 1900s, like rules of the community.
Yeah.
And it happened to be so that my great-grandfather, he was a farmer, and he was allotted space in an island called Álsey, or Eel Island it's called.
Yeah.
And it is kind of like a tradition that there are only men that are puffin hunters for some reason.
Yeah.
And it kind of like most of the time gets passed down like generationally. So like
the actual land, the allotment gets passed down generation to generation. So it just stays within the family.
Yeah. Well, technically today, like the community of Vestmannaeyjar, they technically own the islands.
Okay.
But we just have like hunting associations.
Your grandfather it in, basically.
Yeah. And this association just like manages the lodge and the house, and then we get allowance to go there. So I started going to this island when I was 6 years old with my dad, and you literally have to take like a Zodiac boat to get there for 40 minutes, and then you climb a fucking steep cliff, to get there.
Any dicey travels to get there to the island? Because I mean, I know the weathers are so just. It's crazy over there.
I mean, in the summertime it can get really good, but I mean, I've been in the island and been like stuck for like 2 days because the sea was just
So at 6 years old, you used to go do that?
Yeah. 6 years old, I started going with my dad, and I have been going every summer. He's actually going like tomorrow morning.
Oh, really? Are you flying to go meet him?
No, actually, I come in a bit later.
So explain me how we hunt these things. And like, for people that know that like a puffin, I mean, I don't want to call it's similar to what a penguin looks like. Is that true? Is that not true?
It is kind of in the same family. Like there is puffin, and there is a bird called guillemot or guillemot.
Yeah.
It is, these are kind of black, we call them blackbirds because they have black backs and white tummies. And they are kind of like, they are seabirds. They live off the sea, they live off fish. So they are kind of like really gamey flavored, but they kind of have like a fish oil taste to, like a little bit fishy taste,
and
in a good way.
And so they don't fly.
Yeah, puffins fly, and they fly really, really fast. They can fly up to 60 miles per hour.
Oh, wow.
And
for long distance?
Well, not like extremely long distances.
Yeah, because they're kind of like...
Yeah, they technically have really big breast muscles because their wings are so small.
Yeah.
But they flap them like crazy. Like, to be honest, puffins shouldn't be able to fly, but they can.
They can,
Like, because their wings are so small and their body is so big. But what they are also are excellent divers. They can dive down 50 meters. What's that, 150 feet?
Oh, yeah. That's pretty deep.
To gather
to catch
food.
fish.
Yeah. But to go about the hunting of it, the way that it has always been done is with technically like a big lacrosse stick. It is a stick which is like 3 meters long and has just a net at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, you sit at the edge of the cliff, and there's like a big drop down, and the puffins, they use the air that comes off the cliff to fly in circles. So they fly always in circles over certain areas, and there you sit like you try to hide yourself under like a piece of grass, and then they fly over the cliff, and then you catch them with the stick.
You just knock them out of air?
No, we knock them out of the air, and then they are like in the net, and then you have to take them out of the net and
that's amazing.
Kill them, basically. Yeah. But
we'll skip that part if you want.
No, but basically, I mean, what happened is this used to be done like quite a lot when I was young, and I mean, this method of hunting, it's almost impossible for you to overhunt because you just catch one at a time, and they're flying, and it's not like you can just put the stick up because they just fly around with them.
No, it's very sustainable.
So you have to kind of like. So it is kind of like sustainable, and you kind of know the difference between a bird that is hatching a younger bird because they are always carrying food. So like you
stay away from those.
You stay away from those, and.
But so what's a good catch? Like how many? Like is it
in a day?
Yeah.
Like 300.
Oh, you can catch 300 of these in a day?
Yeah, there are 2 million pairs on this island alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot more than I thought. I thought you were gonna say like 10 or something like that. No, like 300. So in one day, your father or the one crew that's going out, you can catch 300 in a day.
Yeah, per person.
per person.
Per person, yeah. Well,
I'm trying to picture this. It's like you're on the cliff.
Yeah.
Right? And like on the edge of the cliff.
On the edge of the cliff, yeah.
And the puffins are using this wind. They're circling around you.
Yeah.
Like this freaking mosquito that's in the studio. They're just circling around you. And then you're just like...
Yeah, trying to snatch them out.
And then just again.
Over again, over and over. So it's like very physical. And then you have to carry all of the birds like back down to
But once you catch one,
do
you have to take it to its death right away? Like, do you have to get it... Like, or is it going to, like, are we storing it somewhere?
No. Like, it's like bring it to death.
Boom. Yeah. And then
kind of. And, but.
What's the meat like then? So.
The meat is, as I said, like it is quite gamey. And very, very dark red colored. But it's there are kind of two ways to prepare puffin. And I should say, because I know this might make a lot of people angry to hear about like eating puffins.
Yeah.
But what happened? So this was done like quite a lot back in the days, and until the point in time that I was 14 years old, we did a lot of this commercial hunting of the puffins.
Yes.
But it was like not like we were exporting it or something. It was like families were having it, and you could buy it at like some nice store, you know.
Yeah.
You could buy wild or fresh cut
wait
puffin.
till people hear about all your efforts in sustainability and salt. Okay, it's going to counteract the puffin hunting, right? I really,
but
life is just balance, my friend.
Exactly. Well, what happened when I was like 14 years old, the mackerel, so sea gets warmer, global warming.
Yeah.
Sea got warmer, mackerel started to come into the Icelandic waters.
Yeah.
And the mackerel is like the vacuum cleaner of the sea. So the mackerel was eating all of the small fishes that the puffin eats.
Yeah.
So the puffin has had for the past like almost 20 years or like past 15 years had a really hard time of catching on the younglings because they were unable to feed them.
Yeah.
So there was a decline in the
oh wow.
Yeah, what do you call it? Like the population.
The population of it, yeah.
But like 5 years ago, the mackerel went out and the puffin like straight away like started catching on again.
Started going back into it.
Yeah.
It's interesting how that works, right? The mackerel just came in for a little bit, for a few years, did their thing.
Yeah.
Go back out somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just like the evolution of and how it all works.
And like the nature just was having a changing natural order of things.
Yeah. Well, when I think of Iceland, you know, I always say, first of all, I'm a big advocate of Iceland. I mean, you know, my wife loves it over there. She wants to move there. You know, we love the culture. But it always seems when I was there, the island is alive. I mean, there's just like this certain set of energy that you feel when you're there, whether it's the wind or the way the clouds are, or just it just feels like there's, you know, I went on these hikes over there and they had all these geothermal pools. The land was bubbling. You know what I mean? So. Very interesting. Tell us a little bit more about the food culture growing up in Iceland, but also I find this geothermal energy. Has it always been like that? Like, and we're just like in the States, finally just realizing this exists.
Yeah. So I mean, Reykjavík. The word Reykjavík literally means smoky bay.
Yeah.
And that is like when the Vikings came there at around 1000. They saw the steam coming off the land, you know, and that. Has always been there, you know, this geothermal energy. But to go a bit in on the food, as you say, like growing up, I mean, especially in the south, on the island, on the south coast, there's nothing that grows in Iceland. Like we don't have lemons or rosemary or fruits or anything like that. Yeah. And I literally remember the first time I saw a sweet potato, I was like, fuck, what's this?
Really?
Yeah, because that's like imported.
Where did you was it in Iceland though?
Yeah, in Iceland, but like that was imported. But like when it became available at the store, people were like, what is this? Orange potato. Like we'd always had just plain smashy potatoes.
Yeah, smashed potatoes. Yeah.
But I mean, the food culture of growing up. I mean, a lot of fish, obviously, and this village is also like the biggest fishing village in Iceland. So like a lot of fish, puffins during summertime, and it was like there are two ways to have a puffin. You can either grill it when it's new, kind of. Yeah. And then you grill it and it's just like rare. You
just meat though, the breast meat.
Yeah, just the breast meat, Or you smoke it and then boil it for like 5 hours.
Oh, really?
So there's like no in between.
There's no in between.
No.
So you gotta go all in or just lightly grill.
Yeah.
Which one do you like the best?
The smoked one is amazing.
Like, you serve it in a restaurant?
No. Like there are some restaurants that do today, but like it has become kind of like a silent agreement
like
that
frowned upon. Like let's not put this on. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But there is, but the island I'm from, it is like very traditional to have it at the end of summer. Like people have like feasts of smoked puffin and butter and like potatoes with bechamel sauce kind of.
So growing up, did you come from? I mean, it sounds like your grandfather was a farmer, right?
So my great grandfather was a farmer, but I come from basically a family of fishermen.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
A family, and so you grew up fishing? I would no.
I'm actually
you're the one.
I'm the compo breaker in the family. I think I'm the only boy that in the close family that didn't work on a fishing trawler.
Okay, you know? But you cooked
Yeah.
So how'd you get into cooking though? Like, what were the influences?
So what happened is, so when I'm like 14, we moved to Reykjavík, or like a suburb of Reykjavík called Copenhagen, and I just was always fascinated with cooking because my father was a really good cook.
Yeah.
And he just like loves cooking. It's his biggest interest. And when I was growing up, there was this chef in Iceland called Siggi Hall, and he had these cooking shows, you know, just like him in a steel kitchen, and he's just like cooking, like making lobster soup or something. And this was my favorite thing to watch when I was like 7 years old. And I don't know, like it was always a big interest with me. And then I started working in a restaurant which had just opened when I was 16, and it was like a big catering restaurant. It was located in a new like tall building, and it was on 2 floors, and it was a big catering restaurant. But it was 2008, so like we go in there, all of the weddings, all of the parties are planned, and then financial crisis and everything just like froze, you know. But we're working in this kitchen, and there's just, as you know, there's just something about this that no one will understand.
The energy, yes.
The energy, the energy that like wears you off, but still fuels you to like be standing for 18 hours a day and just like hammering out.
Well, in Iceland, so like you know, in the States, it definitely took a while for chefs to be recognized as like people, you know, that aren't just like in like some kitchen hidden. And, you know, obviously now for the last 30 years, like the chefs have become rock stars, celebrities, TV personalities, influencers, policy
chefs.
You could run the gamut. But how was the culture of like chefdom in growing up in Iceland at your age? Like, did people look at that as like, oh, that could be a good career for you, or?
Well, I mean, at the time, yes, some were, but I think like it kind of like happened at the same time as in the US, that like chefs all of a sudden became some kind of rock stars, you know?
Sure, yeah.
And I think that is kind of like, I mean, handed over to Gordon Ramsay and Marco Pierre White and Jamie Oliver.
Marco Pierre White. Is he an influencer of yours? He's like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He's
the
awesome. Book, The White Heat.
And I mean, these like TV shows and of course Anthony Bourdain, like taking this idea of like what it is to be a service worker or work in a kitchen, you know, and create this, you know, mystique persona of this craziness that this represents. But I think like it was happening in Iceland at the time, and I felt like when I was, so I'm not like, I did not go and train to be a chef.
Sure.
I had been working in my past, I've worked in kitchen and in a restaurant like for 10 years of my life, you know. But while working there, just like I worked there through the summertime, and then I was working like amongst high school, like on weekends and evenings and stuff. And at that time, what was changing also, which I don't know, probably has changed here, is this, the energy in the kitchen was shifting from being like kind of violent to becoming more of a positive leadership and enabling people, you know what I mean?
Yes, but you know what? Like, that's my problem, you know, like, I mean, I don't want to go back to violent kitchens, all right? Because as far as I'm concerned, when we used to have violent kitchens, we actually made profit and restaurants were successful. Now that we have like these, these mentorship kitchens and everybody, you know, it's like we're not making any money. Restaurants are closing, guys. We need to get back to the old days when we're throwing pans at people, okay, and kids have to duck, and you know, like it's, you know. I'm obviously joking a little bit, but there's a little bit of truth behind what I'm trying to say. I feel like, I don't know what you feel, but I feel like our kitchens have gone a little soft, you know? I feel like we don't get enough people wanting to work in our kitchens for the sake of just working on our kitchens and learning. We used to get, and I'm like not trying to say free labor all the time, but we used to get people at least that were interested just to come in. They were called externships, internships, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But they actually were really curious about what was going on, and they want to pay their dues.
Yeah.
In this generation, we just want like instant gratification, and I think like, I don't know, I think it affects the culinary scape a little bit. And like, listen, I want to be nice to people, and I want people to, you know, teach people and move on. I get, you know, there's both ends here, but I think we've gone way too far.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. But what I was saying is that I was at this like changing world order thing in the kitchen, you know.
Yeah.
When like you were working with a chef that like did not take any like didn't want any violence or any shit happening, and then you were also working with a chef that was like this old generation of a kitchen worker. So you were kind of always hoping like, fuck, I hope I'm with a nice guy on shift tonight, you know.
Oh, so you have both styles of chefs in one kitchen.
Yeah, in one kitchen.
Oh my gosh,
it
that's
was
the best.
just like riding the wave, you know. But
well, it's funny how different chefs. Like when I worked in Europe for a while. I worked in the north of France at a chateau, and we had 3 chefs there.
Yeah,
and they were all very different. We had a Japanese chef, which literally never said a word.
No.
He would just give you a look, and he'd like mime whatever you needed to do, and like you would have to figure it out or not, right?
Yeah.
And when he ran the line, forget about it. Like you had to be on your toes, guessing at every single second, because all he would do is it was like a silent kitchen. And then we had this other guy that was just like yelling all the time, all the ticket times, where, you know, just on top of it. So it's interesting in that culture, right? Like how you vibe and how it reacts. But yeah, so you spent some time in the kitchen. You said you didn't go to school for it.
No.
But you were on the job, self-taught.
Yeah. And it kind of was it that way. So like today I am a co-owner and a founder of a restaurant that is in Reykjavík, and it's called Skál, and it's amazing. You should come there.
Yeah, I mean, we're on a flight with you maybe, based on what my wife says.
We founded that restaurant together, me and Björn, the guy who founded Saltverk, and our close friend, his name is also Gísli, and he's a trained chef.
Yeah.
And me and him, we started working at this catering restaurant on the same day.
Yeah.
And today, Gísli is one of the kind of like most renowned chefs of Iceland.
Really, and he's the chef of your restaurant.
Yeah. And he kind of like, when we started working in the kitchen at the same time, the only thing that he knew what to cook was like a ham and cheese sandwich in a microwave, you know, like a wet sandwich, you know.
Yeah.
But like today is like one of the most, and he just like fell in love with it. And then we were given both the opportunity, like, guys, we want you to work here. Are you ready to sign a contract, and do you want to go to the culinary school? And I was like, I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
But I just didn't want the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm going to go to college. But Gísli went training to be a chef.
So
basically.
2 Gíslis together in the catering kitchen.
Yeah.
One went the culinary direction, one went the college route. I'd say you were definitely the smarter one. But joking aside, so what was it about the lifestyle that was like made you hey, you know, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because I always tell people there's a lot of room for culinary arts. Like you do not have, I see all these kids go to culinary school now, they pay all this money to go to culinary school. They get out, they get their first job, and they're like, wait a second. Like, you guys didn't tell me about this at culinary school. Like, is this how it is? Like, this is the life? Like, you know? And so, but I don't, you know, I think, you know, we need to do a better job of saying, like, you can go to culinary school. You don't have to come out being a chef or wanting to run a restaurant. There's so many different ways you can, and you're an example of that. We're going to get into it. But like, what was the reason for you?
So I think at the time, just like 17-year-old, things are happening like in high school, and like people are meeting, going camping and all of that stuff. And I was just always working. Yeah. And I was just like missing kind of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm a big social person. Yeah. Like I have a disease which is called a FOMO.
FOMO. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. A lot of us have it.
Yeah. And it's terrible with me.
Yeah.
So like, I loved every second of working in the kitchen, but I just like, in the end of the day, I just made a decision like, if I'm going to do this, this just has to become my life.
Yeah.
And I was
wise words.
I was up for it, because like in my belief is with like being in the industry, like if this doesn't become your lifestyle, because this is a lifestyle.
100%.
This is not a job. This is a lifestyle. Yeah, this
100%.
is a lifestyle that you choose, and then you have to fucking go all in.
Yeah,
like you have to be out there in the morning, like picking herbs and then like
at the
cooking
fish market.
at the fish market, doing all of that stuff, and then you come home and you read or watch on Instagram videos of other guys cooking, and then you travel and spend loads of money
it's
on
exactly
on
what
food,
it is. Exactly.
And then you are always working, and your feet smell terribly, like the whole
100%.
time.
You smell like chicken stock, beef stock, or whatever it may be. That's funny. You know, I love that you totally understood that at 17. Like it is an all or nothing industry for people, right? And there is no in between. I mean, you know, like I was all in at some point in my life, but now I'm not. You know what I mean? Because to your point, you know, I've tried to figure out the evolution of a chef for myself. Like, how can I do something different in the industry that is not the all in? Because you know, sometimes you want to, you know, have a family. You want to, you know, it's tough. It's tough. It's a very demanding industry.
That was kind of like, and this is a decision that I made at 17, wanting to go to college, but that didn't mean I stopped working in the kitchen.
No,
you know? I was working weekends and summers and like around Christmas time and just like whenever, but I just didn't lay it out for me to become my career, to become a chef. You know?
Yeah. Do most students have a hospitality job in Iceland at some point?
I mean,
do you feel like that's
a lot of them, you know, to some extent, you know.
Yeah.
I feel it's decreasing quite a lot, but I think that is like people show up for the interview and they're like, why am I not the highest paid person here?
Oh my gosh.
And you're like, because you've never worked in a restaurant.
Oh my gosh. The interviewing these days almost kills me. I mean, I tell you, like, it's like, it used to be like, here's my resume.
Can I please come?
Yeah, like, can I please come? Yeah. And then it used to be like, like show me how to like turn a potato or do a carrot or go cook me something. And like now it's like, what are you gonna do for me?
Yeah, why should I work here?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't know, man. You applied.
Like, what is wrong with the world? But you know, I love the fact, like, you know, I'm also a big believer in people have to have hospitality jobs at young ages. Like, you got to get out there. If I have any advice for teens, it's like, even if you don't want to be in this industry, go be a server, maybe be a cook or do some salads or do some part of the hospitality business, whether it's a hotel. Get that, because I feel like there's a lot to learn there. It's humiliating at times, right? And I think you need a little humility in this life at a younger age to prep you for all the bullshit that we have to deal with.
It just teaches you how to work.
Yeah.
Basically. It teaches you just that you cannot like just half-ass it through. Like, you have to deliver. And working in hospitality and in kitchen especially, your only competitor is the clock every single day, you know.
Yeah.
And it just teaches you so much about like delivery and deliver on time and deliver like good quality on time and be there and just like sometimes take the fall for your brothers in that like are sick or cut their finger or something. So you have to like pull two positions all of a sudden. So it just teaches you so much.
Remind me those days. Yeah. Tell me, so what did you go to college for then?
So I basically went to college in just like, I don't know what to call it. Like, so in Iceland, we have a different school system than in the US. So like what I consider college is like
CJET or something like that.
Like 17 years old up to 20 years old.
Yeah.
And then after that, you do a university and get like a bachelor's degree.
Got it.
So I call it college. It technically is like extended preschool.
It's kind of like a CJET. Canada does the same thing, and then there's university.
And I
actually like that, because going to college at 17 or 18, 19 or 20, sometimes I feel sorry for the kids that they're just thrown into college so early, right? Yeah. Like, it's like, you know, like do something, you know, do a little something in between before you make the big choice.
Yeah. This is like, I mean, most people do this in Iceland. Like, I'd say 99% of everyone does this college or this secondary school, you know. And then you have to make a decision, like the big decision is before university. But there, like, I just chose natural sciences, like biology kind of, but that was just like general, like math, Spanish, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was like 4-year school. It's 3 years today, but it was a 4-year school. And most of the time you're just partying with your friends and like doing social events, you know.
Singing in the streets. There's a lot of singing in the streets in Iceland. I remember that warmed my heart. I was like, you know, I think it was maybe the first night I landed and we were sleeping in the hotel. We were in Reykjavík in the square, and all of a sudden we heard chanting. Yeah. Right? And we're like, what's that? What's going on? And it was just group of kids just walking down the streets, drunk, singing. I was like, man, I love it. I love it. that hot dog, by the way, over there in Reykjavík, the hot dog. Tell us about the hot dog.
Yeah.
Why is there a hot dog culture in Reykjavík? It's like
I think that is
that's a deep breath too.
I mean, I don't have any words for it. This is just like the only fast food that you would consider Icelandic, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of like comes through Denmark, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's a hot dog culture in Denmark, but an Icelandic hot dog is different from the Danish one. You know? It has the classic one. If you get everything, it has remoulade.
Yes.
Like a pickled remoulade.
Yes.
You have a tomato sauce, which is technically an apple puree that is colored red.
Yeah.
It is not a tomato sauce.
It's not a tomato sauce.
No, like it's a tiny bit of tomato in it, but it's mostly like apple like puree.
That's what it was. I think it was apple
it's
puree.
It's like quite sweet something.
Yeah.
It's called Vals tomato sauce.
I thought it was like a version of a mustard or something like that.
No, and then there's a version of a mustard.
There is the version of the mustard.
That is brown.
Yes.
But I don't think there's not even mustard in it. It's just like potato meal and
is that what it
like
is?
white pepper or something. But we call it like hot dog mustard, but it's like definitely
I have
not
to tell
mustard.
you, I don't know what it was, but like we would go out to these amazing meals. We'd have like I went to like a Spanish tapas place. We went to one of the nice restaurants. I forgot the name in Reykjavík, right there. We had lamb every night. Every single night.
Stop by the stand.
I'd stop by the stand. every night, I would stuff myself with 2 hot dogs, and I would go back to bed. I would be like, but I mean, it was just, I mean, I love a good hot dog, especially something local like that. So.
In New York and wherever, you have these like late night industry hangouts, like a Korean barbecue or New York Noodle Town or something like this. But in Iceland, you just see all the chefs standing in line for a hot dog. That's a late night industry hangout.
It's great. I mean, I love it there. So all right, so. I mean, man, I can't believe growing up on the islands, it had to be the most beautiful like thing in the world as a kid. I mean, I was just thinking about that. I'm just like, no wonder you're doing what you're doing now in life. And I want to get into it. Tell us a little bit how you traversed did salt come first
into salt making?
Yeah, it was. Because you are the real Salt Bay.
Well,
tell them.
Tell
them.
So I mean, I did not found Saltverk.
Yeah.
I came in Saltverk after 3 years of operation, or 4 years actually.
Yeah.
But it was founded by Björn Steinar.
Yes.
And the salt company was founded with the idea in mind of creating something using geothermal energy. So at the time, Björn, he was graduated as an engineer. And he lived in Denmark at the time, and he graduated as an engineer and got a job as a financial engineer person for IBM. Yeah. And he was just like working at IBM, delivering like some report sheets.
Yeah.
And there are like 500,000 employees worldwide for IBM or something.
Oh yeah.
And he was like fucking.
This is a small company. Small company.
Yeah. He just hated it. Yeah. And just had the idea to thinking like it was at that time that Maldon was just like getting an outreach, and he was just a foodie like us,
Yeah.
And he was just like thinking to himself, like, why does nobody make sea salt in Iceland? Like, we're in the North Atlantic Ocean, and we have energy sources that are sustainable, both hydroelectric and geothermal. So
can you explain the difference between those two, hydroelectric and geothermal, so just people know? Yeah.
So hydroelectric is basically when you use like a big pond of water, or kind of like a waterfall, water pressure, to like create electricity by like having it spin turbines, basically.
Got it.
And there's just like all of these because of the glaciers and all of these highland kind of things, they are able to harness the power of falling water basically to generate electricity.
So basically, instead of like the wind mills, same thought process, but just with moving water.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly, yeah.
Got it.
And then you have geothermal energy, and you can either have geothermal energy that is like higher than 250 degrees, blah, 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 something. It's either a high-level geothermal energy or a low-level geothermal energy.
Yeah.
And low-level geothermal energy is below like 250 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Under a certain depth. So on the high areas, you can use the steam to generate, because there's so much steam pressure, you can use the steam to generate turbines and create electricity. But with the lower geothermal energy, you can use that one to just like warm up housing, warm up villages. And all of Iceland, like,
was it like 98% or something?
98% is houses are warmed up with this geothermal energy.
Amazing.
And so he went into the research, where is a source of geothermal energy that we can use as an energy source to to basically dissipate or evaporate seawater.
Yeah.
And he finds this place in the northwest. He's not from there, but he just finds the place in the northwest of Iceland. And actually, like the Westfjords and the Eastfjords, they are the oldest parts of Iceland. Iceland was formed like a millennia ago or millenniums ago.
Yeah.
Just like constant volcanoes that like made the land. We're talking about like
just eruption,
Jurassic,
land. Yeah.
Jurassic Park
days.
times. Yeah. But still, the Westfjords and the Eastfjords, they still hold geothermal energy. Like there is water that is coming up there that is still hot, like more than 100 degrees and stuff. And at this place that Saltverk is today, the reason why this place was chosen is because the proximity of the geothermal well to the seawater is literally just almost on the beach.
It's right on there. Yeah. Okay.
And when he came there was an old boarding school there, and the boarding school was built because there was resources to heating it up, like in the 1930s or something. But then the rest of the water, which was just like, and it's not a boarding school today, it's like a hotel kind of, but just like a
hotel with ghosts.
Hotel with ghosts, basically. There was no one there. Never, kind of. And this, the hot water was just like leaking from the well and just down the beach and into the seawater. And what they did is just like they had this big plastic tub, we call it a fish tub, where like fish is put in. Yeah. Big tubs, and they put in a big 200-liter pot inside the fish tub. Yeah. And then basically just like let the hot water into the plastic tub and put the...
Just around it.
Inside the plastic tub. And then we put the seawater into this 200-liter pot and put the pot in the... So it was just, so the pot was just like... The hot water was around the pot. Yeah. And so like he was there, and then like day 1, of course, nothing happens. Day 2, nothing happens. Like day 5, nothing is happening. But it was just like decreasing, evaporating slowly.
It was evaporating.
It was evaporating slowly. And then all of a sudden on like day 7, a little bit had accumulated, like 2 ounces, Yeah. And he got like super excited, like took it, like scooped it out.
It's like finding gold, really.
It's like just checking it and seeing like the salt had crystallized. Yeah. Scooped it up, put it in a microwave to dry it, and then drove to Reykjavík, which is a 4-hour drive from the northwest, and met with Gunnar Karl, who is the head chef and owner of Dill restaurant, Iceland's first Michelin-starred restaurant. And at the time, Dill didn't have the Michelin star at the time, but like he was going there, and Gunni tried it, and he was like, "This is amazing. Can you go make more?" Yeah. And that's kind of the story of how it started.
It's the salt that gave him the Michelin star, I think, right?
Yeah.
It had to be the salt.
It had to be the
just
salt,
that little bit of salt in there. So what an interesting story. I mean, it's like, I still love like in modern day today that there's still things that are being invented, like finding this energy in Iceland, understanding like why aren't we doing salt? Yeah. Going in to solve the issue and then finding something but then finding the distribution for it is a whole other thing, right? It's like, when you have big companies like a Maldon, what makes this unique from all the other salt out there?
So, what makes this salt unique is that the raw material that we are using, the seawater itself, we are taking the seawater from a deep fjord called Ísafjörður, and on a 20 meters depth, and we are filtering it like down to 10 microns, and then we slowly distill it by using the geothermal energy. And the thing is, like, what's interesting about this is that all of what we are doing, we are having to invent the processes to make it happen. Because like it's not like we're doing a bean to bar chocolate where you just go in to an Alibaba or an Italian website and you can buy like a fully furnished production set of like chocolate machines. Like there we are using geothermal energy to evaporate seawater. We're talking about salty liquid, high humidity, high heat, and no material in the world likes these circumstances.
No.
And so basically, like what is interesting is that we have
erosion, right? You mean no material likes...
Because like everything gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And we are basically, so like compared to other salt making, we around the equator, of course, there's a lot of salt that is made by the sun. but you've been to Iceland. There's not a lot of sun
up there.
So like we cannot use that. Malton, for example, I think they use natural gas to evaporate seawater.
Yeah.
And they are taking their sea in from the salt marshes, which is just 30 kilometers away from London, from the Thames River.
Yes.
So
Malden, what are you doing, Malden? Malden.
Not to talk shit about those.
No, we are going to talk about that shit about
I love Malden.
Oh, you love Malden? Okay, you love the Malden guys. All right, he loves the Malden guys. I don't love the Malden guys. 30 minutes out of London? Well, no, I mean, like, it's funny because I love Malden too. I use it. I have some at the house. I mostly use most of your salts now because I love your company. But, there is the issue of microplastics, right? And it's coming up more and more these days. And, even I'm in a beverage category, right? Just iced tea. Everyone in the beverage category is staying away from plastics. Companies aren't bringing it in as much. People are very cognizant about what's going into their foods. How does that play into what you guys are doing?
So, I mean, of course, this is I think this is also a scope of a thing that it is really difficult to kind of combat or make decision on how to make it best. What we do is we filter it to the smallest that we are able to do.
Yeah.
If we would filter it smaller than 10 microns, we would be filtering out sodium chloride.
Sure.
From
Exactly.
We just have a glass of water, and just take great care of this. And I mean, we have them tested, and of course, sometimes there has been some found.
Yeah.
But the testings of microplastics are to the way that the chemists, they said, like, could have just gotten, like, when we opened the jar when it came into the lab.
Sure.
Because it's just in the air. And
but I have to say, like, you guys are way out there with Iceland. Like, you're not, like, to your point, Malden is very close to a huge city, right, with water. I mean, you guys are out there in the middle of this most beautiful ocean area. I mean, it's...
I mean, where Saltverk is, it takes you an hour and a half to drive to the nearest town, either direction.
Yeah.
So we are literally just in a farm area where there's nothing, like, and no one, kind of. And what I was going to say, what also sets us apart is that we are able to produce salt on every day because we are constantly, like, evaporating the seawater, we are constantly harvesting. But, like, if you're around the equator, there are maybe 3 months a year where salt is happening, and then everyone's just, like, machinery doing all of that stuff to take out all the salt, and then, like, the ocean, like, goes back into the ponds and slowly evaporates, So, but for us, I mean, there is nothing added and nothing taken away. We do not do anything to try to control the flake size or something like this. And a lot of people were amazed by how white our salt is.
How white it is.
Yeah, how white it is, how clear it is. Because, I mean, if you have this French sel gris, for example, that is gray colored due to the fact that they are in, like, gray clay ponds, and it just, like, takes up the color of the clay as well.
Yeah.
This is just pure seawater, crystallized sea salt,
I mean, that is so delicious.
It is.
It is so, I mean, it's really nice.
And
it's got the right type of moisture to it too, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, about the flakes themselves, like, they have, like, this natural umami to it.
Yeah.
And like, to be honest, I have no idea why that is.
Yeah.
It possibly has to do something with, the algae that are in the fjord.
It's it's a terroir.
It's a terroir, yeah.
No, so, the algae that plays, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, I mean, that is kind of what sets it apart. And we do have, like, I mean, our best-selling product is, of course, just the pure salt. And I mean, that is the product that the chefs want.
Yeah.
And most people, like, follow that. But, of course, the flavors are really exciting for people.
Yeah.
But what we do is we make sure to have the flavors in a way that they just tie to Icelandic customs or traditions. Like, it doesn't make any sense for us to make a lemon rosemary salt because
I would be mad at you guys if you did that.
Lemons and rosemary in Iceland.
Yeah.
But what we do have is... smoking. So, like, one of our most popular product is bird smoked salt. So birchwood is among the only trees that grow a bit in Iceland. So birchwood chips have been used for centuries for food preservation, So, like, bird smoked salt reminds an Islander of Christmas time, smoked Arctic char, smoked leg of lamb and all of that stuff. And we have one salt which has Arctic thyme, and Arctic thyme is a very...
Wait. The birch, though. Tell us how tell us how you smoke the salt, though. Because I would say you make this first.
Yeah.
then you do a smoking process.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So basically, to run like quickly through it, to make the flaky sea salt, if we would start today and fill up our tank and like slow distill it and all of that stuff, it would take us
still in the same process that he originally did it, or improved?
Much improved,
but basic.
But the same basic idea is there.
Yeah,
the geothermal energy is the energy source.
Yeah.
The only electricity that we use for it is basically the pumps that are moving the brine. But the seawater is around 3.5% saline, so like 3.5% per liter, is salt.
Yeah.
And for salt to crystallize, or for the solution to become, saturated, then the brine has to become 28%. So you almost have to evaporate kind of like 90% of the fresh water out of the solution for the salt to start to crystallize. So we have a big tank, which is like 5 compartments, and we pump in seawater to one compartment, and then it starts heating up there. And we are constantly pumping in seawater because it's constantly evaporating.
Yeah.
Since when I began at Saltverk, we only had one seawater pump and one hot water pump, and that was it, kind of. And these big radiators that we use for transmitting the heat of the geothermal energy to the brine.
Yeah.
Today we have 2 reverse osmosis machines, 1 big evaporator, 5 seawater pumps, 5 hot water pumps. Like, it is just grown immensely, kind of like in complexity. But the thing about this, as I said earlier, this is so complicated because like it's difficult to choose materials because everything deteriorates. You have to like be really fast in like refurbishing everything.
Yeah.
And then we're always trying to find the ways to optimize, make the process better, So if you come up there, you will see that it's an octopus of old ideas. Like, we've done like 1,000,000 ideas or 1,000 ideas, honestly, on how to improve the production. And possibly like 3 or 4 of them work really well. And the rest is just like hanging there like a museum of old ideas, Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no.
So these compartments have different salinity. So like every day we do measurements of the entire system. So we check the temperature and the salinity of all of the compartments.
Yeah.
And these compartments have different salinity. So like we manually move from like section 1 to section 2 and then to...
And so on.
And so on. So it's like 5% saline, and then it's like 10% and 15 and then 20 and then 25. Yeah, so we move the brine in between the sections to increase the salinity, But as it is a continuous process, like we are always pumping in the seawater and we are kind of always taking out on the other end.
Yeah.
So if we would start that process like today, it would take us probably like 2 weeks until we harvest salt, But as we are doing it continuously, we are harvesting salt 2 times a day, every day of the year.
Oh, so 2 times a day you're harvesting salt. But from the moment the process started, it takes 2 weeks for that batch of stuff to get through and crystallize.
Yeah, technically. Like if we would empty everything and then begin again, it would take us
and the fact that you're not relying on solar allows you to do year round.
Do it continuously, yeah.
Wow,
right.
That's fantastic.
And that is kind of like...
That's a supply chain.
Yeah, that's a supply chain.
Yeah.
And when the brine hits like 25% saline, we move it from this big tank into what we call a pan room. And there we have these big open-faced pans. You can imagine like if you would take like 3 of these tables side by side times 2. So like 6 of these. That's the size of one pan.
Yeah.
And the pan is like, I don't know, 40 centimeters deep. I don't know what that is in US units.
About 30 centimeters. Yeah, we get that. We get 30 centimeters. I'm Canadian here.
Like a foot, And there the crystallization happens.
Yeah.
So like the first thing that happens actually is there is kind of like calcium that forms. And those crystals are like really strange. They're like snowflakes or like stars kind of. And they're just like, you cannot eat that. It's just terrible. It's just like sand, basically. Yeah. So you have to clear out that calcium thing. And then after that happens, the salt starts to accumulate. And it just starts as one ion, And then they all like...
And then they just start...
hook up together. And then they make these big, massive flake. And when it's heavy enough, it falls to the bottom. And so the reason for that we do harvest twice a day is because the salt is just like, when it starts happening, it's just like incredibly fast.
You ever do slow motion video on it just to kind of see how...
and see the crystal like form? Yeah.
Oh, that has
That's
to be
awesome,
super cool. So is that pan heated still? Or
yes.
It is still heated, okay.
So the pan is made from like very high grade stainless steel.
Yeah.
And that is kind of like double layered. So if you would imagine kind of like a tea kettle kind of, where you have the two-sided steel, and on the inside of the steel you have the hot water.
Hot water, yeah.
And then inside the pan itself you have the seawater. So like the seawater is surrounded
by hot water.
Yeah. By hot water basically. Yeah. And for the evaporation. And we like try and utilize that energy as much as we can. So when all of the flakes they form, it is all hand harvested.
Yeah.
Meaning that we use these big stainless steel rakes basically. And each rake is probably like 40 pounds.
Whoa.
And in one harvest, it can be like 200 pounds easily, you know.
And so when you make the first one, and then if it needs to do something else, it goes to a smoker with birch wood?
Yeah. So basically, after we harvest it and drain it, we put it in a drying room for like 8 hours. And that drying room uses residual heat energy to dry the salt itself.
Yeah.
And when it is dry and ready, and after we've kind of like sorted through it to make sure there isn't like any calcium or something like that, we take it to the next step of processing. So one of the things that we do is the bird smoking. So we have a smokehouse on our facilities, and there we cold smoke the salt for 48 hours. So we basically just put it on these racks, and we put it in the smoke room. We light a good fire on the outside, and we cold smoke it due to the fact that like hot smoking can be quite bad for you.
Yeah.
So like we have a special way to like kind of cool the smoke on the way in there, like with a pipe just being outside.
Yeah.
And we don't have to worry about that it's cold outside.
The hot smoking being bad for you is in the food, the hot smoking of the food and the ingesting of the food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not terrible, but it can be like that there comes in more like kind of sap and some kind of that stuff, you know, and it becomes just like kind of like dirty, you know. Yeah.
How do you make the lava one? So you're not smoking this one.
So no. The lava one we take it from the actual volcano. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. We don't use actual lava.
We go into the volcano. I listen, I wouldn't be surprised about you Icelandic guys just going in there with some like hazmat suits and just harvesting.
The silver suits.
Yeah.
No, so the lava salt, that is basically our flaky sea salt, but we mix it with activated charcoal. Yeah. And we just call it lava salt because when we started to do it, just for us, it looked like the black lava rocks that are everywhere. Is it
active volcanoes over there? Like, are you guys?
Not currently, no.
Not currently.
But like there have been, since 2021, I think there have been like 16 eruptions. Just like in between where the airport and the capital is.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly that. Just like little small eruptions happening.
Yeah. And that is like, I mean, in a historical sense, there was like an age of volcanoes in that, and that hasn't happened for like 600 years, and now it's like starting up again. And there are these geologists.
Are there discussions about like, hey man,
it has begun again. Like last time, it was only for 100 years. So like, I could expect that just for the rest of my life there will be active stuff happening there.
Wow.
But there's nothing better than like, I don't know, people always listening to the radio and interviews and politicians and stuff, but there's nothing better than listening to a geologist being asked questions about whether a volcano will happen or not.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, hello from this newscast. We have this professor in geology here. Yeah. So what do you say? Like, will there be another volcano? And they are always like, so there are like two things that we see happening. Yes. Either there will be a volcano or there it won't happen. And it's always like
sounds like that. It sounds like our weatherman over here. Yeah. They're either the storm is coming, but it may decide not to come. You know.
And then like when they are active, they're calling them like, how long will it go on? And they're like, there are two options. Like it can go on for much longer, or it can just stop at some point. So it's like I'm like, why do they keep calling them? Like they don't have any answers.
Talk about job security. All right, those geologists or weather people, they are job security. Looking for your next big event, concert, or culinary adventure? Check out eventsdc.com to see what they're cooking up. So I want to make sure, Gísli, that we talk about the use of the salt.
Yeah.
Because one could interpret that this is such an exquisite salt. It's so sustainable. There's so much that goes into that I don't want to misrepresent that this is just a finishing salt. This is a salt to season with. This is a salt to cook with.
Definitely,
correct?
definitely.
And most people, Maldon, we brought him up a couple times. We're going to send you for sponsorship also, by the way. No, just kidding. It's often looked at as like the finishing salt. Like, dare you put it in a recipe? But this is not this. I've cooked with this stuff. I've used it in my recipes. In fact, like I've made a salty balls. You ever make the potatoes where you just, it's basically you're making salt, but you're reducing. You salted water with potatoes and then you
reduce it,
until it crystallizes and you do the shake.
Yeah.
I love that. I got that from Marcel, which he probably stole it from the chef. Marcel Vigneron, do you know him?
No.
He's a good chef. I'll introduce you to him. He's a great guy. But tell people how you could cook with it and how you would apply these different salts.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, the Saltverk salt.
The Saltverk. I like how you say it.
Yeah.
Do I say it like that enough?
No,
like Saltverk.
Yeah, like I mean, normally people say Saltverk, but I took a decision a few years ago. Like I'm always just gonna say Saltverk.
I like that you do it. I really do.
And so like the pure flaky sea salt.
Yeah.
That I use it for everything, man. Because I mean, I use it even for seasoning pasta water.
Yeah.
Because like in the end of the day, is salt ever going to be the biggest expenditure? Yeah, I mean, good quality salt will maybe cost you $10 or $15 maybe.
It's a key point.
Versus $1 salt. But that salt, you have that probably.
We got him fresh off the food show, guys. This guy is. No, it's a good point though. You know, like
you probably have it in your cabinet for a month.
Yeah.
And then you buy a jar of salt for $15 or something, or a bag of salt.
So buy the high quality salt, guys.
Buy the high quality salt because then you buy a steak. You know, Snake River Farms beef
steak,
or something steak, and it would set you back like one steak is like $70 or something at the store. I don't know.
Yeah,
and that lasts you for a meal, and then it's done,
5 cents of worth of seasoning.
Yeah, exactly.
If that.
So I mean, this one I use for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I use it even more than for everything because I work there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
But I mean, you can use this for everything and just like season and curing and all of that stuff. I mean, we have been working with places in Copenhagen that are using it for fermentation, you know, fermentation purposes. NOMA has been a customer of ours.
Big shout out to NOMA.
For a long time, and we are really happy to be supplying them. That is not like a pretentious relationship. They just wanted to have our salt because they like the quality of it, you know. We have been working with a place called Bruce, which were really famous.
Don't skim over that. Guys, NOMA, one of the best restaurants in the world, some of the finest chefs in the world. I mean, they are using the high quality salt, and what Gísli is saying is you can have this in your own house as well.
Yeah,
cook like a cook from NOMA.
Exactly. Yeah,
right. But okay, go on. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. But then we have also been working with a brew pub in Copenhagen called Bruce, and they got really famous for having fermented fries. So they were using our salt for the fermentation process. They were making kimchi and fries and stuff.
Like French fries?
Yeah.
Like fermented French fries?
Yeah, they took potatoes, cut them up for fries, fermented them, and then make French fries.
What process is this?
Basically just like beat them up with salt and put them in water and have them ferment.
In salt water?
In salt water, yeah.
Beat them up, salt water, ferment. How many days, do you know?
I can't remember what they were doing.
I'm only asking you specifics because I'm going to copy this tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so what does it bring to the French fry?
So the fry itself, I mean, the potato itself just has a little bit more kind of like acidic umami kind of thing. But they were doing it in these big fermentation barrels, you know.
Yeah.
Like you do the wine with a drop counter.
And they're still fried.
Stuff. And they're still fried, yeah. But they cut them up and just like put good salt on them. I think they brine them at like 4% or something.
I love that.
And then they just have them ferment for a week or something.
Yeah.
And then fry them after they come out of the fermentation, you know. And then they had some like, you know.
Guys, fermented French fries? It's a first for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
First.
This is an awesome dish.
Is that a thing like there specifically? Like this only, or is that a...
I mean, there are a few places that have it, but this brew pub
is the one that's doing it.
Yeah. It's their signature thing.
And so using your salt there, where else? What other amazing places are using your salt?
Gísli, my friend. The chef.
Of course, yes.
He's
tell us about Gísli just a little bit because he's a good friend of yours. So he is it Michelin rated over there? Not yet.
So his restaurant is not Michelin rated.
Yeah.
But he has a seasonal restaurant on the island.
Yes.
Where I'm from, and that is only open during summertime. And he has been running that restaurant for the past 13 years.
Yeah.
Sadly, this season will be the last.
Oh.
He just decided to do it not out of like there's nothing bad about it. He just like
13 years. It's
13 years is a long time, but he is doing like a full-on, like going to the fish market in the morning. He's using the cod from head to tail, like completely.
Yeah.
His signature dish is cod wings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where
cod
he's cutting.
Wings?
Yeah, you should check it out on Instagram. He is literally cutting out the collar, leaving the fin in the meat.
Yeah.
And then frying it, so it comes like the fin sticking out. So it's like chicken wings, but cod wings. Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm gonna have to try that. So he uses the salt. So great. And so, but then the interesting part is for all my chef friends out there, because I know you're listening because you love this podcast. This is also available in restaurant packaging, right? Like in tubs.
Yes.
You can offer that in tubs.
We have it in tubs.
Yeah.
We do not currently have like an active kind of distribution through like these food service distributors, but we do have it. Like we stock it here in our warehouse.
Yeah.
And we are kind of like slowly putting that in the market here. And we have some friends here that are using our the salt. Some places in New York and some places in LA.
Yeah.
And those were just like made on. We went for dinner there, made friends with the chef, and then just like started using our products.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. And we believe that that is such a big part of it. I mean, there is no better what could I say? Like no better person to judge the quality of a salt than a chef, because he literally puts so much thought into flavors and what he likes to use, you know. And to go on further with this flaky sea salt, you can use it for everything. It doesn't only have to be for finishing. It can be for curing. It can be for making brine. It can be, you know, whatever.
A brine. I mean, this Arctic thyme salt sounds like a perfect brine salt.
Yeah.
A little flavor in there.
The Arctic thyme salt is really good for curing. If you're curing like either white or pink fish, it's absolutely amazing, because the Arctic thyme is like the Arctic thyme only grows in Iceland, Greenland, and the Faroe Islands. Yeah. And only 3 months a year.
Arctic thyme on Arctic char. Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Are we talking about? Usually, so where can people find this? The salt. Tell us, like, where can they buy it right now? Where is it available?
Well, so Saltverk is available in about 1,000 stores in the US now. But we also are selling it direct to consumer through our website, saltverk.com, and we're available on amazon.com as well. But we are quite, I mean, our biggest markets here in the US are kind of are the West Coast, and Texas is actually quite big.
Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
they like their salt in Texas.
Yeah.
They like their salt,
they like the grilling and the barbecuing. And
you see, tell me, there's a little birdie told me about a catastrophe that you were responsible for, something about like water pipes or something, or like there's a good story you start do you want to share that? Can you share
the seawater pipe thing?
The seawater pipe thing, yeah.
Yes. So I just to put it up quickly, I went to school and graduated from biomedical engineering.
Wow.
And I when I was graduating, I had been giving it a thought, like, I loved working in the kitchen, but I didn't want the lifestyle. But I really wanted to do something, to work somewhere that was kind of like a startup company, something related to food, so I could have my other foot in the kitchen, kind of.
Yeah.
And to be in a job of responsibility, not to be just like some social security number, like punching in the morning and punching out in the afternoon, just like being there for salary. And then literally I meet Björn, the founder of Saltverk, through our friend Gísli.
Yeah. So Gísli introduced you. Björn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So because Gísli had come to know Björn, because Gísli then opened his restaurant Slipperinn, which is closing now, down. And he had been buying Saltverk just like from when Saltverk was founded.
Yeah.
And we met at a bar and we were just chatting, and then all of a sudden he just kind of offered me to come for a job interview. He was just like asking me like, "Oh, do you have any plans after university?" I was like, "No, but I'd love to, you know."
Yeah, network. Yeah, come by, check it out.
Yeah. And then he kind of just stood there and he was like, "I actually need a guy in Saltverk to help me out. Like, do you want to meet tomorrow?" And that's kind of how that happened.
Yeah.
But when I signed up, it was like literally the only thing he said was just like, you have to be willing to wear many hats. You know, it's a small company. We're a really small team. At that time, I was like employee number 4.
Yeah.
You know, and today we're almost 30 people. And he said, yeah, you have to be willing to wear many hats. So what we had as I told you, we had this one seawater pump and one hot water pump. And the first time I go up there to the production facilities, there was actually a pump that got broken down. And I called the guys and I was like, guys, there's a broken pump here. Like, what should we do? And they were like, can you just replace it? You just have to connect it to the electricity and maybe like change the cylinder and stuff. And I was like, I've never done that before. And they were like, didn't you graduate from engineering? I was like, fuck, I can integrate this pump. Like I can do a math problem about this pump, but I didn't learn anything with my hands, you know. But then this one time, because we are in the Westfjords of Iceland, and I mean, the weather there in the winter gets crazy sometimes. And this one night there was this crazy storm and it literally broke off the seawater pipe, which is connected to the pump on the beach. I get a call. I was at our restaurant, Skál. We had just recently opened that restaurant. We had been doing service there. And I get a call from Björn saying like, hey, can you go with my dad? So Björn's dad also works in the company and is a shareholder in the company. And he was like, can you go with my dad tomorrow to the Westfjords? The seawater pipe is gone. And I was like, what do you mean it's gone? It was like, it's just not there anymore. It just broke off the pump.
It's just gone.
And at that time, we were like really fragile. I mean, like Saltverk isn't and hasn't never been like venture funded or something. So like losing that pipe and losing the pump, like if something happened with the seawater pump, that was just like the seawater pump and the pipe are just like the heart of the company.
Just to clarify, the seawater pump is actually in the sea.
No. The seawater pump is
above, next to the sea.
On the beach.
On basically. The beach. Okay, on the beach.
But the pipe goes from the pump and into the sea.
Got it.
And it's like 200 meters long. You know?
Okay.
And then during the storm, the waves are just crashing and like all the crazy shit is happening, you know, in the weather. And it literally just breaks off the pump. And that's like a code red. Like that means that no seawater is going in. So that at some point, when the brine in the tank finishes, we just like have to start over.
Yeah.
And at this time, like we were only producing like 4 or 5 tons a month, and we were selling like 7.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we were just like always on edge to like keep production up. And I get this call, and I was like, yeah, sure, come and pick me up. And this was like in March. And to get to Saltverk, you have to drive for 4 hours from Reykjavík and go over like 3 mountain passes. And they're all covered in snow and ice. And on the way there, we pick up, so Jón, his dad, has a boat, like a small Zodiac. And we were like, okay, we have to take the boat. So we go and get the boat from like some storage room, and we drive with the boat on the back of the car over all the mountain passes covered in snow and ice. And it was just like, when we were passing cars, they were watching us like taking a boat.
Like, what are you doing?
You only see that in the summertime, you know? They're like, well, what are these guys gonna do? We come down to Saltverk, and like literally just before I left the door, I was like, I'll take my wetsuit with me. I know this is going to be a problem, you know.
Yeah.
So I took a wetsuit with me, and we go there.
Why do you have a wetsuit? You surf?
Yeah, I did a bit of, I would like to call it like not drowning.
He's not drowning? Oh, yeah, okay.
It was really bad, but
you got in there.
I really tried.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all about getting in the water, dude. I heard that.
100%. It's all, it doesn't matter if you catch a wave, man. It's just when you're out there.
It's just getting in the water, dude.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I had this wetsuit. It's 6 millimeter thick.
6 millimeter.
So, yeah, you're just like a penguin in it.
You need it over there. You're like, ah.
But yeah, we get there. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna put it on. I put it on. We go on the boat, and I had also like a snorkel and like goggles with me. And then I'm going like, because this pipe is like 50 millimeters, it's like this big.
Oh, so it's a small pipe?
It's a small pipe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's tiny. I mean, it's the same thickness as almost the plumbing in your house.
Got it.
And searching for that in the ocean is just like not easy.
No.
To search for one black line at the bottom of the ocean. But like on the beach, like we knew it hadn't gotten far, you know, because it's put down by weights on the way out.
Yeah.
So we were looking for it, and I'm jumping in, like checking out, and like going back up, and then jumping in and searching. And I was like, this is gonna take forever. Like I won't find it. So I was like, Jón, you just have to pull me. And so we put out
pull you with the boat.
Yeah. Oh. So he was steering the boat.
Yeah.
He had a piece of rope in the sea.
Yeah.
I was holding the piece of. This is how pirates used to kill people, you know, in the days back in the days. And I was being dragged on the side of the boat, wearing the snorkel and trying to search for the for the pipe.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden something starts hitting my head like crazy. I'm like, stop, Tion, like yell at him, like stop, what is happening? Because it was like I was getting punched in the head. And then I look up and there are these ice caps floating on top of the sea. Just coming out of the fjord. So this fjord is called Ísafjörður, which means ice fjord.
Ice fjords.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because there's mountains and freshwater, and the freshwater freezes on top of the seawater.
Yeah.
And it just like makes these chunks of ice, like small icebergs.
Yeah.
So I was getting dragged by the boat, getting hit on the head by the icebergs.
Yeah.
And we find the pipe. And I dive down to the pipe and I tie a string to it, and it was like on a 5 meter depth or something. And I dive down, tie a string to it, and we come into the boat. And it was like freezing cold. It was like -7 outside, and the ice caps are floating there. We find the pipe, and I come into the boat with Jon. And I say like, on which page in my hiring contract was this particular description?
Yeah.
Like, where in the job description was this task?
Yeah. The one where you said you're wearing many hats, I think.
Yeah. It was like, it is undisclosed. And we still make this joke today. It's like, I'm looking forward to see that job description
You need a bonus for that, man. That is intense. That water has to be freezing, even with like a 6 millimeter suit on, though, right? Like,
yeah, well, the 6 millimeter suit does a good job of keeping it away.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
But yeah, that's a crazy story. And actually, there's this Danish brewery called Tuøl, which owns this brew pub that was doing the fermented fries.
Yeah.
And we had them come and do a pop-up at our restaurant in 2018 or 19. And while they were there, we took them to see Saltverk. We drove up in the Westfjords. We had a night there camping and a lot of fun. And we were sitting in one of these hot tubs, because in the Westfjords there are a lot of natural hot springs that you just can go and bathe in. Just chill out in on the seabed, and we're chilling in this hot tub. And the guys are like, we should make a collab brew together, like Tuøl and Saltverk. It would be really cool. And we're like, yeah.
Just sitting in the baths, by the way.
Yeah.
Just sitting in the hot water bath.
Yeah, sitting
the natural
in the
ones.
under the midnight sun.
Yeah.
And they were like,
man, if I could use some menu innovation, just sitting in a hot tub under the moon. I mean, that sounds like my type of innovation session. Yeah.
And we came up with this idea to do two brews. So we did actually one stout, which had lava salt in it and lava salted caramel. Ooh. We made a salted caramel with the lava salt. And then we did a lemon Arctic thyme gose beer.
Yeah.
And gose beer is like a sour beer
that
has a little bit of salt in it due to the fact that the river Gose is a bit saline.
Okay.
And the river Gose, where the beer originally comes from, therefore there's a little bit of salt always in Gose. They're always brewed with a little bit of salt in it.
I actually didn't know that. That's interesting.
And when we went to Denmark to help them like brew the first batch, and they were like, okay, guys, you can name the beers. And this beer, the Arctic Thyme Lemon Gose, I named it There Goes the Seawater Pipe. Named after this story. Yeah.
So you can still get that beer?
Yeah, well, actually, Tuøl is it was supposed to be like a one-off, but it just like went so popular. I think they've done it like 6 times now.
Oh, you just kept it.
Yeah.
Tell me about, we bathed a lot when we were in Iceland.
You
bathed in baths, hot baths.
Yeah. Did you go to a public swimming pool or just like these?
I wanted to. I was there with my wife, and so we went to the more traditional ones. I think there's 2, right? There's like the 2 hot
the Blue Lagoon and
the Blue Lagoon and the other. But I was reading about just like I wanted to go to a more local one, which I will do. But then there's the baths that you just talked about, which are just not the Blue Lagoon, but are they all over the island? Like, do the locals know where like all like the local baths are? Like, no one's paying to go to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland as a local.
No. I mean, rarely.
Very rarely.
Very rarely.
Yeah, unless you're having like some friends
but like
down.
Most people, like, I mean, back in the day when I was a kid and the tourism in Iceland wasn't like as strong as it is today. Of course, my family sometimes went to the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
That was just like going to the pool, but like a little bit more upscale. Today it's like
it's a whole thing.
You don't afford it even. It's just like really expensive, and it's like much nicer just to go to your local pool.
Yeah.
But going to a local pool is just the thing that Icelanders do. Like if you go early in the morning, you're sitting with the old people. All the old guys are like always there at 6:30 in the morning,
which is the best time to go. No,
and which is the best time to go. And then you're just like listening to the old people talk. And then if you go after work, you are there with just like people that are coming from work and bathing. If you go there in the evening, it's like kind of like a low dimmed romantic attitude. And if you go on the weekends, you're just like in a kid bonanza. Like so, this is just like all the Icelandic people do this. This is like your, I don't know, going to a baseball match or something like.
Yeah, we go bathe. We go in the bathe. I mean, first of all, I can totally get down with that lifestyle. Do you do it a couple times a day traditionally, or is it just once a day? Usually, people are doing
just once. Well, I mean, I have a 2-year-old kid now, so like doing things once a day
is the best.
Is the best.
Yeah, no, like
I would love to go to the swimming pool once a day.
Yeah,
like I did that in the past. But
how young do you get started over there as a bather?
Just like 2 years old. My son loves going to the pool.
Oh yeah, he goes. But when you say pool, it's not just cold pool.
No.
It's mainly specifically hot pool.
Yeah. The pool is heated.
Yes.
And it's like a big array of hot tubs. There are like in a public pool you would have like 10 different hot tubs in different temperatures, and then you have like a steam sauna, and then you have cold baths. And
what a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
And that geothermal hike right outside of Reykjavík, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's really nice. That used to be like a very local secret that you hike up in the mountain and then you bathe there.
And now everyone's there.
But all of this is geothermal.
Yeah.
Ties us back to the salt, right?
Totally, yeah. We were there. We actually ate at a pizzeria right near that.
Yeah.
It was a geothermal pizzeria.
Yeah.
And beer. There also was a brewery, I think.
Yeah, brewery, brew beer.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, which I think is called Saltverk. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. The other cool thing about the coffee culture, right? Is it true, like what I heard, like where people just pour each other coffee in Iceland?
What do you mean?
Well, I was reading and I actually saw it with my eyes. So maybe I'm wrong, but maybe it's specific to Reykjavík, but maybe not. But I heard like most people are walking around with thermoses of coffee in the morning. And like you could walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, can I have a little bit of your coffee?" Because they carry around mugs and they pour each other coffee. Is this? Listen, you can't believe everything you read on the internet, my friend. Okay, you cannot believe.
This is like super weird.
Yeah.
No.
Is it weird?
Yeah. Well, no, I've never seen this happen. To be honest.
So I saw with my own eyes. I was like, there's this truck driver. He was sitting inside and he had a thermos, and then these two people walked up to him with like cups. And like he opened his thermos and like poured him a coffee, and then they went walking down. I mean, maybe it was like that really good weed in Iceland that you have. But
this was a one-off.
yeah. Could have been that really good bud you guys have.
But there is a big coffee culture. Like people meet up. Like if you go to someone's house, like go visit a friend or something, there's always like coffee on the pot, and I think that is maybe the coffee culture that we have. But what you're describing, I've never seen.
You're gonna have to Google it. All right, you're gonna have to Google it.
Yeah, read it on the internet.
Read it on the internet. Okay, so if you're not puffin hunting or salt making or in your restaurants or bathing under the beautiful sky, what are some of your favorite things to do in Iceland, man? What do you recommend?
My favorite thing in the world is being my son's dad. I love it.
Listen, you just scored brownie points with your wife. Yeah, big time.
I've been away for a week now. I had to like come in with something.
I bet you can't wait to get back, right?
Yeah, I can't wait to get back.
Yeah,
but
he's 2 years old?
He's 2 years old, yeah.
Yeah, what's his name?
His name is Grímur.
Oh, he's Grímur, that's right. Yeah,
same as my dad.
Cool.
But yeah, he's super funny. He's super funny. Starting to talk a lot and stuff. But jokes aside, like one of my hobbies outside of that, I love. I actually had a podcast for a while.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because I was going to say you're a natural at this.
Yeah, thank you. I had a podcast with a friend of mine. It was more of a comedy podcast, actually.
Oh yeah.
But then he moved. He got into medical school in Denmark, and he was actually graduating today as a doctor.
Oh wow!
Like he has been there for 6 years now and studying to be a doctor.
What was the comedy podcast? Because you guys' humor in Iceland is a little different than ours.
Can you apply for a trademark before I tell the idea so no one does it in English?
Listen, I'm going to register right. Yeah, of course.
No, we did like a comedy podcast, which was basically so we were always telling these crazy stories that like this seawater pipe story.
Yeah.
We had these crazy funny stories, random stories. We were always telling them to each other, and he is a natural like comedian. This guy, a friend of mine, but we thought like we wanted to have the scale of the podcast, but we were like, that's like 2 episodes. And then we came up with like making a podcast that you would tell funny stories of famous people like, Johnny Depp or Arnold Schwarzenegger, stories that we put in like research to read, like something that they said in an interview, like something funny that happened to them in their life. And then we decided that we would take turns in investigating it. And then one of the stories is a total lie from beginning to end. So I would tell you the stories, you would be hearing it all at the first time here.
Yeah.
And then one of those stories was a complete bullshit. And then you have to guess like which story
is. So one of them wasn't true?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of the pitch of the podcast.
How long did you guys do it for?
We did like 30 episodes or something.
Oh, 30 episodes?
Yeah, 30.
Can they like still go and find them?
Yeah, but they're in Icelandic.
Oh, really? You got to get those things translated.
Yeah. But yeah, I did that for a while. But I mean, I think honestly, like food is just my biggest interest, and traveling and nature, of course.
Yeah.
I love going to that Puffin island. We haven't been hunting puffins for a while because
I'm going to take you up. I want to come. Next time I'm in Iceland, I'm coming to the islands.
Please do, yeah.
I want to go catch some puffins.
Yeah, if you come during summertime, we can definitely do it.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. Have you been to DC before? Is this your first time?
Never. First time in DC.
First time in and out.
Yeah.
Oh man, next time we got to get you for a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit longer. What else do we want to say? Like, we're going to wrap this up here. I mean, it's been a pleasure having you. First of all,
it's been awesome
on this company that you guys have, that you work for, that you've risked your life for in the seawater. I thought you were going to say like a shark was hitting you on top of that.
No, not as good as that. But I mean, Saltverk is amazing, and I think like working with a beautiful product like this, we have such a great team also at Saltverk. The saltmakers and the team that we have, we are a very lean, small team, but we have been doing like sales here since 2017. We're in about 1,000 stores in the US. We own the market in Iceland for sea salt, and then we are also exporting to Denmark. And all of this is just super fun because it takes you these little salt flakes here. Takes you places.
Takes you all over the world.
It took me to Washington, D.C. this morning.
That's right.
This jar of salt,
Is that funny how the things happen like that?
Yeah, it's insane. And like the people that you meet and you connect, and as you know from the industry, I mean, the industry world is really small. Yeah. I mean, you meet people from all over the world and you all have the same experiences and you have the same feelings. You've been through the same shit.
Yes, 100%.
And that is like traveling and meeting people like you and other chefs, and like it is just so fun to connect over something so simple as a flake of salt.
Yeah, and I mean that's in the weeds, right?
Yeah, that's in the weeds.
You understand in the weeds. I understand in the weeds.
Do you want to know what the term is in Icelandic for?
Please
in the
tell
weeds?
me. Yes.
Að vera á floti.
Að vera floti.
Yeah, it's being
in the shits.
It literally means barely floating.
Barely floating.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. See, now you can do a version of In the Weeds podcast in Iceland. We'll just have to, make a deal there, arrangement. All right. So, Gísli, at the end of the podcast, usually we offer up the opportunity to be on our 86 board. As you know, right? 86 is a term in the culinary world where when you run out of something, which you're not really supposed to be running out of any of the food, unless that's the style of restaurant you have, we put it on the 86 board. It's 86, but it's not limited to a restaurant. Just if there's a trend in the world, in food related or not a life, something that you want to put on the 86 board. What are we 86ing today, Gísli?
Do you mean like do we want to run out of it, or
we don't want it part of anything anymore? We're like this meatball trend or out the door, whatever it is.
Fuck, I think just like let's 86 this being unfriendly. Let's just all be friends, man.
Yes. You know what? I love that 86. And we're going to put that on the 86 board, which brings me up to one last thing I want to cover. Man, damn, I thought Canadians were friendly and polite, but man, you Icelandic people have us beat. I have to say, it's one of the safest countries in the world. People are so kind. Is it a prime minister or is it a president?
So
you can literally walk up and knock on the door and say hi or something like that.
Yeah. We have actually. It was a big thing the other day on the news. We have the president of Iceland is a woman. The prime minister of Iceland is a woman. the head bishop, which is like the biggest religious figure in Iceland, is a woman. So like the three kind of controlling parties of the thing are all women now.
All women
for the first time in history in Iceland.
Yeah.
So.
And let's not just breeze over that for a sec, because we have a couple more minutes here. And your country is one of the safest countries?
Yes.
It's one of the friendliest countries?
Yeah.
You have no mosquitoes? Is that because of those three women too? Because that's an unbelievable thing. Like, I have to just say.
We have no mosquitoes.
No mosquitoes, no amphibians.
No amphibians. We have a mouse.
You have mouse?
we have an Arctic fox,
yes,
a reindeer, a mouse, and a mink. I think these are the only wild animals in Iceland.
You're not involved in any current wars or conflict? There's no real army?
No. We don't have an army.
You don't have an army?
No.
You guys are just living life.
We have a coast guard. Yeah.
You have a coast guard. You guys are living life off the land. You have three women in charge. It sounds like we have a lot to learn from Iceland.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty nice place, to be honest.
And on top of it, now we have a delicious salt that we can all use. So that's it, man. Any questions for me? You got anything for me?
Yeah, I'll go for what is your favorite food?
Ooh, well, I love lamb.
Yeah.
And as you can imagine, I ate some pretty delicious lamb.
Yeah.
In Iceland.
Icelandic lamb is amazing.
It is. It is a misgame. We went to a little tapas place over there.
Yeah.
Do you know the place?
Yeah,
the Spanish place?
Yeah.
Do you know the chef there? Is that a touristy spot? Did I get a tourist trap restaurant?
No. This place is an institution in Reykjavík.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I love that place. The other place I went to was a restaurant right next to my hotel, which was right by the square, and I had to take a step down, and it's a seafood restaurant.
Oh, yeah. That is
It's a hard reservation.
Yeah. No, that's a good one.
Very authentic, right?
Yeah.
I also ate right next to the it's not called the church. It's the in Reykjavík. It's like the tallest.
It's a church.
It's a church.
It's a
right
church.
across the street, they had like a bistro boulanger style restaurant. I went and had some stew over there or something like that. It was absolutely delicious.
Like lamb stew or something.
Lamb stew is absolutely delicious. Guys, listen, if you haven't visited Iceland, you gotta go. All right. Don't just go because Gísli and I told you. Go because there's this amazing, delicious, like salt place that you can actually visit. Right? You guys are doing tours during the summer only, or
no. We have an open door policy. People can come and like if people want to come there during harsh winter, be my guest. But I don't advise it.
They don't advise the harsh winter,
but like the summer times are crazy busy. People are coming to see like how it works and sometimes even try to do a salt harvest.
Yeah,
this is a job not for the faint of heart.
Not for the faint of heart.
I actually took Gordon Ramsay up there. He came and visited us.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw the episode.
I got so lucky that I was waiting for him to say, like, man, it's hot in here. And I was like, you once said, if you can't stand the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Did he ever say it?
I said it to him.
Oh, did you
on
say
the
it?
show.
I love that you got him.
I was like, I'm either going to do that or the idiot sandwich thing. And I was like, I thought the idiot sandwich
oh my God. The idiot sandwich thing is by far one of my favorite clips of his. Tell me you're an idiot. Oh my God. I love Gordon. You know, when I worked at Le Cirque, he used to come, he was friends with my head chef called Pierre Chadelain, which was Martha Stewart's chef at some point. But he used to come in, and I remember the first time he came in with a rose jacket, right? And everyone, Gordon Ramsay, and he sat on the end of my station at Le Cirque.
Yeah.
And I had to make him blinis and caviar while I was executing service at the same time. And the whole time I was just like, who is this guy that is just sitting here, eating caviar? Of course, it was Gordon Ramsay, but he's a great guy. That was a great episode that you guys had with him.
He was a super nice guy.
Yeah, really good stuff. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up today, but go check out Iceland. Go visit Gísli, get some puffin hunting going. Check out the salt. Don't forget to check out Just Iced Tea, also very delicious. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this captivating episode of In the Weeds podcast with our guest, Saltmaster from Saltverk, Gísli Grímsson. To learn more about Saltverk, visit saltverk.com. A huge thank you to our title sponsor, Events DC, the official convention and sports authority for the district and a key player in making some of DC's most exciting events and experiences happen. From world-class sports to cultural festivals and everything in between, they help power the energy of the city. Check out eventsdc.com to see what they're cooking up. A shout out to our broadcast home, DC Central Kitchen, for not just feeding people, but fueling real change. If you want to support their mission or get involved, head to dccentralkitchen.org. You can catch up on past episodes or subscribe for new ones at intheweedspod.com or on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. The kitchen may be closed for now, but the conversation is still sizzling on our Instagram at intheweeds.pod, so come and join us there. That is a wrap on this shift. See you back in the weeds next time.